What up, though? Your boy Meech, aka the Siage Saint. Hope everyone's doing well. Time for another fragrance video, and today we are going to be doing a fragrance review on a fragrance that I have featured on my channel quite a bit. I've owned it since probably like August, and I've worn it quite a bit. I've talked about it quite a bit. I've featured it on my community tab. I was like, you know what? I haven't done a full review on this fragrance to kind of give you guys my thoughts on it, so I thought it would be good to talk about this fragrance now that I have spent so much time with it. Today, we are going to be talking about a fragrance from one of my favorite houses, that being the house of Mancera. This is one of their new 2024 releases. Today, we'll be talking about Amberful by Mancera. Of course, we're going to talk about the fragrance, the note breakdown. I'll talk about my wearing experience. And of course, I will give a final rating on Amberful. So let's not waste any time. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start with the note breakdown. With Amberful at the top, you get Calabrian bergamot, you get yuzu, pink pepper, and nutmeg. Your mid notes are amberwood, violet, and patchouli, and your base notes are cedar, amber, and moss. Now, I am going to go ahead for the sake of this video and spray it on the tester strip. Of course, you guys know that you get that nice pressurized atomizer with Mancera fragrances, although that spray kind of wonky, but it is a pressurized atomizer. All right, so obviously one of the great debates in FragCom, if you've heard anything about this fragrance, is whether or not this fragrance smells like Ganymede. That has kind of been the thing with this fragrance. And I will say you do get this salty, mineralic type of rock salty type of feel that you get in a fragrance like Ganymede. I will say this fragrance is definitely brighter, fresher than a fragrance like Ganymede because of the citrus that you get at the top. That yuzu definitely is a standout note in this fragrance, the bergamot as well. Now, interestingly enough, I've heard people compare this to fragrances like Bulgari Tiger, and I think some of the citrus aspects in the fragrance, I can see where that comparison comes from. But lately, I've been hearing talk about how this fragrance reminds people of Parfums de Marly's Greenly. And when I went back to revisit this fragrance and smell it, I was like, damn, it does kind of give you Greenly, you know, type of vibes. Greenly is, even though it's a niche fragrance, it has a lot of like this synthetic, like green apple type of vibe. And this does, I don't know if it's the mineralic type of vibe. I'm not saying this is synthetic, but there is kind of like, I don't know, there is kind of like somewhat of a synthetic feel with this fragrance. And though apple is not a listed note in this fragrance, I can see how people correlate this fragrance in some aspects to a fragrance like Greenly. So people are like, this is a Ganymede Greenly mashup. I can see that. Ganymede, Greenly, Bulgari Tiger mashup. It kind of gives you elements, honestly, of all three of those fragrances. But that kind of salty, rock salt, mineralic type of vibe still plays throughout. Even as the fragrance dries down, it kind of moves to the background and you get more of, you know, the woody aspects of the fragrance. The name Amberful is a bit deceiving. There is amber in the fragrance. It does have somewhat of an ambery type of feel, but I don't think I would necessarily describe this as an amber fragrance. This is more kind of like citric woody, and then amber might be like third or fourth in the hierarchy, if you ask me. But this is such a nice smelling fragrance. It is a unique scent DNA, at least for my collection, because I don't really have anything with kind of like this mineralic citric feel that Amberful provides. The longevity on this one is really good. I get somewhere in the 6 to 8 hour range, really closer to the 8 hour range in my wearing experiences. This is a very versatile fragrance. You could very well wear this every day. I think you can wear this all year round. It's definitely a signature scent type of fragrance. I've worn this to work a couple of times. I haven't gotten any compliments wearing it or anything like that. Not that I'm in it for that, because I'm really not. But I could imagine this being a fresh citric fragrance that people will like the way you smell. This is a pleasant smelling fragrance, a good performing fragrance, as is the case with most Mancera fragrances. So I'm definitely glad I picked this up. This is really the first time I have purchased a fragrance that actually, purchased a fragrance in its release year. And now since this, I've gotten like Mont Blanc Legend Blue and a couple of other things that have come out this year. Now, clones that are released this year, yes, I've bought those. But as far as like designer or niche fragrances, I usually wait a little bit before buying them. But this was actually a buy that I made in its release year, and it is definitely a worthwhile buy. I really, really like Amberful a lot. This is definitely, I would say, for me personally, this is an 8 out of a 10 fragrance. Outstanding fragrance. Mancera does a great job. I have not smelled a bad Mancera yet. In my experience, I own 5. I have a decant of a 6. I probably smelled like 8 of them over the course of my fragrance journey, and I like them all. This is a really, really good one, very versatile offering. So if you like Ganymede, if you like fragrances like Greenlee, if you like fragrances like Bulgari Tiger or any of their clones, Tarathi Blue, Black Panther by Alexandria, if you like any of those fragrances, this kind of gives you a little bit of all of those. This is a really good, versatile scent that I think you'll enjoy. Amberful by Mancera. Be sure to check out my social media for more. Do you own Amberful? If so, I would love to hear your thoughts on the fragrance. Feel free to throw those in the comments section. Be sure to check out my social media for more. Your boy Meech, aka the CI Saint. Until next time, take care. Peace.